it's Nicole. For those of you who do not know me, I am a life purpose and career coach, and I have over 20 years of experience in HR, operations management, training, coaching, recruiting. So I have a lot of experience in this area, and one of the most common questions that I get is about resumes. You know, how do I make sure that my resume is right, and how do I fix it? I'm not a resume writer. I really don't enjoy writing resumes, but I do a lot of resume critiquing, and that is a service that I offer if you're interested in that. However, I did put together this resume webinar for my clients, and a lot of people have viewed it, and it's been very helpful to them. So what I've done for my YouTube viewers is I have taken it and broken it up into 5 sessions. So it's a little bit more manageable time-wise for you to take in. So this is the first part of that. And before we really jump into it, I want to touch base, give you a little bit of advice on the job search. It kind of leads into the way that the resume is written. So let me go to the next screen and we will get started. All right. There we go. Okay, so a little bit of job searching advice for you. Only spend about 20% of your time applying to job boards, online job boards. Spend the rest of your time networking, learning new skills, and branding yourself. When you find a position you're interested in, take the time to research the job, the company, and the players involved. Customize and personalize as much as you can. Excuse me. So the reason that I'm saying this is because there are a lot of folks who come to me, and what they're doing is they're spending all of their time on the job board. So all they're doing is literally looking at these jobs. Sometimes they're going down a list that the job board provides online and just checking a box and not even reading all the details and just sending their resume out to hundreds and hundreds of different job openings. And you're really wasting your time. You need to take a few minutes to research the job, really understand if you're qualified for it, really understand if this is the company that you're interested in, and just take a little bit of time to go through that. So a couple of things that you're going to want to look for whenever you're looking at a job description. Obviously you're going to want to be qualified for it, but one of the common questions that I get is, how do I know if I should apply for this or not? I'm not quite qualified there. So I would say, kind of as a rule of thumb, that if you have the qualifications, if you're about 60% there, go ahead and apply for it. If you're between about 40 to 60%, think about it, take a look at what the requirements are, and if there are skills there that you're able to learn. For example, if they have something simple like Excel, like they want you to learn macros in Excel, they want you to have some advanced skills, that's something that you can take a quick course online and learn, something you can check out a book for. So take a look and see what the skills are that they're requiring, and see if it's something that you can pick up. It might take you a couple of days to do it, but typically whenever you send your resume in, it's going to take them a couple of days to respond to you. So you usually have some time to do that. What I want you to do whenever you're looking for a position is I want you to understand that they are putting out a job description. The companies are putting out a job description, and it's a wish list. So when you're looking at this is their ideal person. Think of it, remember whenever you put your list together for Santa and you had everything on it, and normally most of us aren't going to get all those things, but there are a couple of things on there that you would star, at least I would, that you would star, this is what you really, really want, these I kind of want. So you kind of have your priorities. It's a wish list, and you're not always going to get everything, and that's sort of how it is with a job description. So keep that in mind as you're looking at it. They want all these things. They say they want all of these things, but they may not necessarily be able to find the perfect person. Ideally, the employer wants to find somebody who they can hire at minimum wage, who has, all the requirements, and, never takes vacation and all these kind of things. So, so do yourself a favor, give yourself the advantage. And if you meet the criteria, 50 to 60%, I would say, more around 60%, go ahead and just apply for it. 40 to 60%, take a look at the skills, see what it is that you have, what it is that you can beef up quickly for the position. If it's under 40%, take a really good look at it. It's probably not going to be worth your time to apply for it. I'm going to be honest with you, but if it's something that you really, really want, go ahead and pursue it. You never know. You never know what's going to happen. I'm not going to tell you not to apply for anything, but I just don't want you to waste your time on things that are completely unreal. So Spend your time on those positions that you want, that you have more qualifications for, but don't just write them off if you're not completely qualified for them. I hope that helps you out. What else can I tell you? So something about the resume that I want everybody to understand too is that the resume is not about you. And we'll get more to that as we go in. The resume is about your audience, and you have to customize, personalize your resume as much as possible so that you are kind of demonstrating to the company what it is that you can give to them. They have some kind of pain point. That's why they're posting this job opening. There's some kind of problem they need to solve, and they need you to do that. So your resume needs to convey how it is that you're going to solve that problem for them. All right, so let's get into the resume. So what is a resume? Your resume is the most important financial document you'll ever own. Your resume is essentially a marketing tool, with its entire purpose being to get you an interview. When you're writing the resume, it's not about you, it's about your audience. It's the first impression an employer has of you. It's a tool for the employer to compare you to others, and it's a representation of your personal brand, a presentation of your strengths, skills, and accomplishments. What your resume is not. Your resume is not a one-size-fits-all document. It's not a replacement for the job application. It's not a legally binding document. It's not a complete job life history. It's not a copy and paste of the job descriptions from your previous roles. So it's not a one-size-fits-all document. So this is important, and this is something that a lot of us, whenever we were growing up and we were trained how to write a resume, you kind of make one resume and you send it out to everybody, but that's not how you do it. You want to have one master resume. Just to kind of come up with a template. And then as you're doing your research on your jobs, then you want to take a look at what it is that the company actually wants and make sure that your resume is reflecting that. It doesn't have to be word for word. I'm not telling you to do that. However, you want to tailor it, and you want to make sure that your resume reflects what the needs are. Again, they have some kind of pain point, some kind of issue that you want to solve, and you want to prove to them that you can solve it. So your resume is the means to do that. Okay, so it's not a replacement for a job application, and it's not a legally binding document. And the reason that I put this in here is because I have come across this situation in the past. There's a lot of people who like to embellish on their resume. And there's a big difference between just a little bit of exaggeration and flat out lying. So keep a couple of things in mind. A lot of companies will go back and have you fill out a job application, and you will have to put the information on the job application, a lot of it that's already on your resume. So you're just copying one from the other in most cases. So if you have lied on one and you don't lie on the other one, that's going to send up a red flag. And the application, the job application, is something you need to sign on, and it's actually a legally binding document. So keep that in mind. Also remember that many recruiters, a good recruiter is going to kind of do their research. So they're going to be taking a look, usually with a fine-tooth comb, if they are really considering you for a candidate, because you're going to be representing them. They want to do a good job, and they want to put forth the best candidates. So they're going to check out everything that's on your resume. They're going to be looking at your social media. They're going to be trying to reach out to some of your colleagues, trying to, even if you don't know it, they're going to be trying to sort of get a feel for you and find out what kind of person you are, what kind of worker you are. So be careful what you do with your resume. Slight exaggeration is one thing, lying is completely different. So just a little bit of a warning there. Okay, so it's not a complete job life history. So if you are, applying now for a C-level executive position, you do not need to put the babysitting experience job that you had as a 16-year-old on your resume. So you really only need to go back about 10 years. In some instances, maybe longer. It just kind of depends on the relevancy of what it is you're doing. Some of the C-level positions, your higher level positions are going to require a bit more experience, and so they want to see that on the resume. And I would actually advise you, and I'll try to put a link in the comments so that you have access to this, to get a really good resume writer for an executive level resume. They're looking for a little bit more specific type of information. But I'll put that for you in the comments. Okay, so what else? So don't put a complete job life history. Try to stick to the past 10 years unless there's something beyond the past 10 years that's relevant, that's not about 30, 40 years ago, because that's completely irrelevant. Okay, so it's not a copy and paste of the job descriptions from your previous roles. And again, this is something, if you're like me, I was trained this way to just literally copy what was in the job description from my previous role and put it on the top of my resume, and you were done, and that's what you sent out. But that is not what people want to see. What they want to see are your accomplishments. You can take, and I'll show you this as we get further along, but they want to, when you put your history there of your job description, maybe take a couple of sentences, a very short paragraph, just describing what it is that you do, and then you're going to put a couple bullets there with some accomplishments, some actions that you took, some accomplishments there. That's what they want to see. So think of it this way, as if you are the hiring manager. What is it that you want to see on a resume? If you're hiring a salesperson, do you want to see that they assisted the customers in sales from day to day, or do you want to see, increased sales by 50%, or top salesperson for past 6 months? So you want to focus more on the accomplishments as opposed to the actual task. And that's the end of the slideshow. Okay, so that's the end of the first section, and I hope that it's been of value to you. And my channel is new, so if this is of value to you, please like the video, please subscribe. Hopefully we'll get it out there and it'll be able to help some other people as well. Make sure you come back for part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5. I'll get those out shortly as well. Thank you so much. Bye.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done.